I was in the middle of fixing a client's server when my phone rang, neighbor's number. The digital chirp cut through the quiet hum of electronics. It was 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and Chuck never called. He texted about borrowed tools or complained about HOA bullshit, but he never called. I slid my thumb across the screen, already feeling my jaw tighten. What? Hey man, he said, voice shaky like he'd witnessed a car wreck. Everything okay at your place? I heard screaming, sounded bad. My heart didn't just drop, it fucking plummeted, smashing through my ribcage and splattering on the floor. The screwdriver slipped from my fingers, clattering against the server rack. What kind of screaming? I demanded, already knowing. Something primal in me already knew. Like, pain maybe? Or, I don't know, man. It was loud. Really loud. Then laughing. I tried texting Sarah but she didn't answer. Sarah. My wife of 6 years. The woman who kissed me goodbye this morning and said she was working from home because she needed a mental health day. The woman who'd been tired every night for the past 3 months. The woman whose phone kept lighting up with notifications she'd quickly dismiss when I walked into the room. I'm heading home, I said, already ripping off my company lanyard. Thanks. I didn't wait for his response. Didn't call my boss. I slammed my tools into my bag and barreled through the office, past Karen from accounting who tried to stop me about some invoice bullshit. My truck's engine roared to life, and I peeled out of the parking lot, tires screaming against asphalt. One hand white-knuckled the wheel while the other punched Sarah's number into my phone. Straight to voicemail. Again. Straight to fucking voicemail. Sarah, call me back. Now. My voice sounded strange in my own ears, tight and dangerous. The 15-minute drive took 8. I ran 3 red lights and cut off a soccer mom in a minivan who leaned on her horn like it would magically make me give a shit. My mind raced through possibilities. She fell, she's hurt, someone broke in. But that devil on my shoulder kept whispering the truth I didn't want to face. Our apartment complex looked normal. Peaceful. Cars in their assigned spots. Mrs. Petrovich watering her sad little patio garden. Everything so fucking normal while my world was about to implode. I took the stairs 3 at a time, my boots thundering against concrete. Our door, 312, looked exactly the same as always. The little welcome mat Sarah insisted on buying, it's what grown-ups do, babe. The brass numbers I'd installed myself. I jammed my key in the lock, but my hands were shaking so badly I couldn't turn it. Fuck it. I stepped back and kicked, right next to the knob where the wood was weakest. The door flew open with a crack, slamming against the wall hard enough to dent the drywall. And what I saw. It'll stay burned into my skull forever. There she was. My wife. In a fucking cowboy hat and thong, riding some grinning idiot like she was in a damn rodeo. Her tits bouncing with each thrust, her head thrown back, that stupid fucking hat somehow still on her head. The bed, our bed, creaking rhythmically against the wall. Moaning. Screaming. Laughing. They hadn't even heard me come in. Too busy with their little performance. Her back was to me, her spine arched as she ground herself against him, thighs flexed. And he was looking up at her like he'd won the fucking lottery, his hands gripping her ass, guiding her movements. I stood frozen in the doorway, unable to process the scene playing out in front of me. This wasn't real. Couldn't be real. 6 years together. A mortgage application sitting half-completed on our laptop. Discussions about kids, names, schools, how many. All bullshit. Sarah rolled her hips and let out another moan, louder this time. Giddy up, cowboy, she screamed, and they both laughed like it was the funniest fucking joke they'd ever heard. The spurs, actual fucking spurs attached to a pair of boots I'd never seen before, jangled with each movement. That's when she saw me. She glanced over her shoulder, still grinning, probably thinking I was Mrs. Petrovich complaining about the noise. Her face went from ecstasy to horror in a split second. She scrambled off him, grabbing at the sheets. Mike! Oh my God, this isn't. The guy bolted upright, eyes wide. Young. Maybe 25. Tattoos across his chest. The kind of douche who probably had a TikTok account full of shirtless videos. I didn't yell. Didn't swing. Didn't give them the satisfaction of a reaction. My body moved on autopilot while my brain short-circuited, trying to process the betrayal unfolding in 4K resolution right in front of me. I walked straight to the kitchen, the same kitchen where we'd cooked Sunday brunch 2 days ago. Where she'd kissed me and said she was the luckiest woman alive. I grabbed a black garbage bag from under the sink and walked back to the bedroom. Sarah was frantically pulling on a t-shirt, my t-shirt. The cowboy was fumbling with his jeans, one leg in, hopping around like a moron. Mike, please, let me explain, her voice cracked. Tears starting to well up. The same tears she'd used when she forgot our anniversary last year. When she'd stayed out until 3 a.m. with coworkers and lost her wedding ring. The same tears that always worked before. I opened the closet and started tossing her clothes into the bag. Designer jeans I'd bought her for Christmas. Dresses she wore when we went out with my boss. Lingerie she claimed was uncomfortable whenever I asked her to wear it. "What are you doing?" she asked, voice rising to that pitch that usually made me back down, made me apologize even when I'd done nothing wrong. "Get out," I said, voice like ice. Not yelling. Not giving her the satisfaction. "Mike, you don't understand. It was just a fantasy. I was trying new things. Things I thought might help us." I turned to look at her, really look at her. This stranger wearing my wife's face. Help us? By fucking another man in our bed? While I'm at work paying for this apartment? For the car you drive? For the life you apparently can't stand? It's not like that. The cowboy had managed to get his pants on and was looking for an escape route. Smart guy. I pointed at him without looking away from Sarah. Who the fuck are you? Look man, I didn't know she was married. She wasn't wearing a ring. Sarah cut him off. Shut up, Jason. I laughed. Couldn't help it. A cold, dead sound even to my own ears. Jason. Of course his name is Jason. I kept packing her shit. Bathroom next. Expensive creams and lotions and makeup. Into the bag. The framed photo of us from our honeymoon in Hawaii. Smashed against the edge of the sink, glass shattering. She followed me, begging, explaining, crying. I didn't hear the words anymore. Just white noise. You have 10 minutes to get what I missed and get out, I said, dropping the bag at her feet. Or I swear to God I'll throw it all in the dumpster and set it on fire. Where am I supposed to go? She wailed, the perfect victim. Try a stable. You seem to like cowboys. Jason was fully dressed now, inching toward the door. I stepped in front of him. Your boots, I said. What? Your fucking boots. With the spurs. Where are they? He pointed to the corner of the bedroom where a pair of ridiculous leather boots sat. I walked over and picked them up. Heavy. Expensive. Inside one of them, a wallet. I pulled it out and flipped it open. Jason Michael Reynolds. 27. Organ donor. His license showed an address across town. I tossed the wallet at him. Get the fuck out before I change my mind about letting you walk. He looked at Sarah, who was sobbing into her hands. No help there, buddy. He snatched his wallet from the floor and bolted, not even taking his precious boots. But tossing them wasn't enough. I needed more. Needed to kill the fantasy for good. I examined the license again. Jason Michael Reynolds. I committed the address to memory. Then I checked the rest of his wallet. Business card. Jason Reynolds, mixologist at the Rusty Nail. Below that, a QR code for his social media. Of course. Sarah was still crying, now sitting on the edge of the bed, our bed, that I'd have to burn or throw out. Mike, please. It was a mistake. A stupid mistake. I love you. Save it, I cut her off. 10 minutes. Clock's ticking. I walked to the living room where we had a small security camera set up to watch the door. A precaution after the break-in next door last year. I checked the footage. Sure enough, Jason arrived at 12:38 p.m. Sarah greeted him in a sundress I'd never seen before. They had a drink in the kitchen. Laughed. Touched. Kissed. Then she led him to the bedroom. I downloaded the footage to my phone. All of it. Then I went back to the bedroom where Sarah was half-heartedly shoving things into a suitcase. Your phone, I held out my hand. What? No. You can't. Your phone. Now. My voice didn't rise, but something in my eyes must have scared her because she handed it over without another word. Passcode? Same as always. Her birthday. Predictable. I scrolled through her messages. Jason. Going back weeks. Photos. Plans. Fantasies spelled out in explicit detail. I forwarded everything to myself, then deleted the evidence. Who else? I asked. What? Who else? How many other men have you fucked in our bed? No one. I swear. Jason was the first, it was just a fantasy. Right. I handed back her phone. Time's up. Get out. Mike. Get out. She flinched. Good. She grabbed her bag and her purse. Stood there for a moment like she was waiting for me to change my mind. To forgive her. To beg her to stay. I walked to the door and held it open. Waited. Finally, she walked out, mascara streaking down her face. This isn't over, she said, trying to sound confident. We need to talk when you've calmed down. I closed the door in her face. Locked it. Then I slid down against it until I was sitting on the floor, staring at the apartment we'd shared for 4 years. Everything looked the same. But nothing would ever be the same again. I gave myself exactly 1 hour to feel the pain. To let it wash over me in waves that threatened to drown me. Then I got up, poured myself 3 fingers of whiskey, and got to work. First, I found the guy. Easy, he left his boots. And his license in one. Real genius. Turns out he worked at a local bartender with a TikTok where he played guitar shirtless and gave relationship advice. His latest video had over 20,000 views. How to tell if she's bored in bed, and what to do about it. Posted 3 weeks ago. Right around when Sarah started acting distant. I created a new email account. New Instagram. Anonymous. Then I clipped together a nice little montage from the footage on our security cam, her bouncing on him in full cowgirl mode, and uploaded it to the burner account with the caption, "Trust this guy with your girlfriend?" Hashtag relationship advice, hashtag trust issues, hashtag cheaters. I tagged the Rusty Nail. Tagged his personal account. Tagged every local bar I could find. Within hours it went viral. The bar fired him the next day. They sent out a carefully worded statement about values and integrity that made me laugh into my 4th glass of whiskey. His TikTok followers turned on him overnight. Comments flooded in. Hypocrite. Homewrecker. This you, bro. His carefully cultivated image as some kind of relationship guru went up in flames. He set everything to private, but it was too late. The internet never forgets. But I wasn't done. Not by a long shot. I knew Sarah's patterns. Knew she'd go to her best friend Melissa's place to regroup. To plot. To spin the story about her controlling husband who didn't understand her needs. Who drove her to cheat. Who was probably cheating himself. So I called Melissa's husband, Dave. Good guy. We played poker sometimes. Hey, Mike. What's up? He answered, casual. Normal. Sarah's coming to stay with you guys, I said, no preamble. What? Why? What happened? I caught her fucking another man in our bed this afternoon. Cowboy hat. Spurs. The whole 9 yards. Silence. Then, Jesus Christ, man. Are you serious? Dead serious. More silence. Shit. I don't know what to say. Nothing to say. Just thought you should know the real story before she gets there and starts spinning bullshit. Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry, man. That's fucked up. One more thing, I added. She's been planning this for weeks. Guy's name is Jason Reynolds. Bartender at the Rusty Nail. Check her phone if you don't believe me. I hung up. Poured another drink. Set about methodically removing Sarah from my digital life. Facebook. Instagram. Twitter. Email contacts. Phone contacts. I changed all my passwords. Cancelled the joint credit card. Called the landlord to get her name removed from the lease. By midnight, I was drunk and empty. A hollow victory. But I still had one more card to play. Sarah had a Pinterest board with dream honeymoon spots and baby names. A vision board for our future that she'd apparently been curating while fucking Jason the cowboy behind my back. Cabo San Lucas. Santorini. Paris. Baby names, Olivia for a girl. Noah for a boy. I screenshotted it all and sent it to her mom with one line, "You raised a real catch." Then I blocked her number before she could respond. The next morning, hungover and still wearing yesterday's clothes, I called my boss and explained the situation. Took a week off. Spent the first day throwing out everything that reminded me of Sarah. The second day, I bought new sheets, new towels, new everything. By the third day, my phone was blowing up with messages from her friends, her family, mutual acquaintances. I blocked them all. Sarah showed up at the apartment on day 4. Pounding on the door, screaming my name. I put in headphones and turned the volume up until I couldn't hear her anymore. Eventually, she gave up. She tried again the next day. And the next. Each time, the same routine. Eventually, she stopped coming altogether. 2 weeks later, I got served with divorce papers. Fine by me. I signed them without reading the details. My lawyer would handle it. I didn't care about the money or the stuff. I just wanted her gone. The last I heard, Jason was working at a gas station on the edge of town. His social media presence never recovered. Sarah moved back in with her parents in Ohio. Apparently, Melissa and Dave weren't as welcoming as she'd hoped once they knew the truth. Me. I kept the apartment. Kept my job. Kept breathing. Some days were harder than others. Some nights I'd wake up reaching for her before remembering. But I never called her. Never texted. Never gave her the closure she so desperately wanted. No grand confrontation. No tearful goodbye. No chance for her to explain or apologize or beg forgiveness. Just silence, and the sound of her little fantasy world collapsing like a barn in a storm. And sometimes, on the bad days when the anger threatens to consume me, I take comfort in knowing that somewhere out there, she's lying awake at night wondering why. Why I never fought for her. Why I never gave her a chance to explain. Why I simply erased her from my life without a word. That silence. That's my revenge. And it's sweeter than any screaming match could ever be.